Welcome back to The Watch, and today we're going to talk about Willow.
That brings back memories.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Willow, but you are.
The original film I am.
Right.
Heaps of nostalgia.
And plenty of reviews on it. I think we did the whole season, right?
Well, then the TV show came out, and we reviewed every single episode of that absolute abomination of a TV show.
Now, it was you and Marcus that did the bulk of them, but I had to suffer. So, we're going to talk about it today, because it was an interesting show.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And the ending, I cannot believe, even when to this day, of what they actually revealed the plot to be.
It was because I remember in the first episode you're introduced to these the children, new characters, and a lot of them are insufferable.
Oh, the princess.
Yep.
Most egotistical, self-centered cow.
But the prince,
he wasn't.
I liked him.
He ended up actually not being terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Alora Dannon. I thought she had some quirky elements to her.
Very empty, though.
But the writing was just so bad on so many levels.
If you haven't watched those reviews, go watch them. They were wild.
Wagon episode, my gosh.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
And the inconsistency of the magic where Willow lets his best friend die because he...
or when he leaves, screw you guys, I'm going.
Oh my gosh. It was so
or the genes in the forests, or the trolls. There's just so much about the show that is special.
And the ultimate
in a
plot
weird way.
Of, drinking the worm's juice.
Yeah.
The worm is specifically a he.
Yep. Demonetized.
I can't believe that's in the show.
But this is YouTube.
They literally equated to mother's milk, but it's the worm is a he. It's like, what?
Yeah. And if you haven't seen the show, we're not joking. We're
serious.
Not joking. But recently the main...
Warwick Davis.
Not even main.
He's not the main character.
Side
character. The main character, who should have been the main character, Willow, who everyone loves and everything.
The show
goes out of their way to make him an incompetent loser.
Yeah.
From the character's own voice. Yeah. I'm just afraid that everyone's going to find out that Willow Earthgood is the, fraud and loser, everything that's he knows himself to be.
He's recently came out and said that he's very embarrassed that it was removed. Now, I don't think we made a video on it at the time, a dedicated video, that Disney literally
has removed the Willow TV show from Disney+.
Yeah, rather than having it on there. They didn't even want it on there.
It seems like it was a net negative that having the show, because it was so bad, remain on Disney Plus was causing them to lose money. And I expect that it must have been royalties or payments or some type that they need to do while it's being aired.
It might even just be like server space, like pay for the server space
even
nobody's watching it.
And I guess so few people were watching it, and those people that did, if they I would not have gotten through all this season if I wasn't reviewing it. It was so bad. And everyone who tries probably gives up really soon. Yeah. And
it was hard to sit through those episodes that I watched.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I remember me and Marcus were sitting there watching it, and when those trolls came out and started talking like people, we laughed out loud. We literally just started we thought it was a comedy bit. It was hilarious. But they've removed it. Well, they did remove it. And now Willow, Warwick Davis, has come out and said it's embarrassing. So...
Well, he seems to be trying to defend the show still. And, dude, do you have any idea what that did to your legacy and character? I think he's only trying to defend it because it was, I don't know, the show where he was supposed, front and center was his show.
I'm going to be honest, his acting in it was not good.
Oh, his act, I'm not saying he can't act. I've seen Warwick Davis in other things, and he did fine in the original film, and he's done some of the Leprechaun horror films. Yeah. I just noticed that he was in it, so I turned one on to see what it was like, and he's having a great time. He's just hamming it up, right? Yeah. But in the show, he was doing some of the worst acting I've seen on screen, and even when he's supposed to be angry or emotional, he's speaking like this and just raising his voice a bit, and it's
hard to watch.
Really bad.
It's hard to watch, and
it felt like he was phoning it in because he knew it was in a dog crap show. Yeah. But now he's trying to defend it. So
I don't know how that much is. At the time, the media was defending it. Everybody was saying this is great and this is everybody's loving it, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, as soon as it comes out, I heard nothing. It was just radio silence. it's almost as if, all these articles coming out, hamming it up, saying, everybody go watch it.
Disney pays for lots of support.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying it. I absolutely, Disney has a marketing department to, get enthusiasm to their shows. But if the show is dog crap, it doesn't do a thing.
Because wasn't there supposed to be a season 2 as well?
Yeah, there was supposed to be. And when it was like, if it was either pulled or something, even the director came out saying, no, season 2 hasn't been cancelled, I swear. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But, yeah, it does not look like that season 2 has any hope of ever seeing the light of day or being made.
Yeah. I remember, didn't we, there was also, what's his name? The big guy with the sword.
Yeah, the black guy, no?
Yeah.
He was fun.
I liked him too. He was really good.
He was one of the few fun characters.
Yeah. And then we obviously, what was his name? The dad.
But still, even though he was a fun character, the writing and story he was involved in, which meant a lot of his actions were just nonsensical and retarded. It was just like...
Well, the whole show.
The whole show was crap. Even though there were 1 or 2 characters that weren't insufferable, it was all drowned out by it had one of the most insufferable characters of any show, which is the princess.
She really was.
She was obnoxiously in your face, hard to ignore, insufferable. Yeah. Like, oh gosh.
Here we have the actual quote that he said on Twitter. It seems like I'm calling it Twitter because that's what it is. He wrote, "Please tell me at Walt Disney, what do I say to these subscribers when they ask me why they can't watch the series anymore? #embarrassing." You
can say,
all 5
because it's crap.
All 5
it was It was a dog crap show that made a mockery of the Willow character, and that's why it's not there. And Warwick, just to let you know, there's not a lot of those people asking that question.
There really wasn't. Yeah.
Like, I wonder if he's seen Disparu's tweets about it, and he thinks, because Disparu loved Willow for none of the reasons that Disney wanted him to love Willow. Willow's one of his favorite shows ever, and he would love to see a season 2. And I wonder if, like, Warwick has seen Disparu fight for Willow.
To be fair, in a sort of terrible viewing experience way, it's so high production, but it's just so bad at the same time. There is something...
It's one of those laughably... But to me,
about
it's I couldn't even get to there. Disparu could.
Really?
Disparu, he loved to hate it. It was so bad. He was laughing his head off the entire time. I couldn't.
I kind of agree with that.
Like,
because there are scenes where it's supposed to be dramatic, and the production value is so high, and it looks great, and all of a sudden they'll be like, "See, what are you doing over there?" And I'm like,
when you say production value, they had like plastic axes and modern arrows and awful clothing.
Yes.
It was
I mean,
dog crap.
Usually, when you have a terrible film, they're terrible. Even in budget. This is a multi-million-dollar.
There was lots of budget that barely got applied effectively, but sometimes it did get applied effectively.
And sometimes it didn't. Get some jeans just in the cabin in the woods.
Modern arrows with modern dogs.
There was a lot of... Like, for example, the...
I'm going to go on an adventure, Tyranth, and I'm only going to bring 4 arrows with me. That's my plan.
Yeah. Yep. There's so much dumb stuff in that.
So much.
And a lot of the lines as well, out of nowhere, just nonsensical, didn't make sense. But if I'm being honest and fair, I did like the prince.
Yeah.
I genuinely liked him.
He actually seemed like... but everyone was crapping on him.
He seemed like a good dude.
And they were saying he's like a useless idiot when he was one of the only half-decent... And he went out of his way to try and get things to work and work out and stuff. And he resisted temptation to a much greater degree than other characters.
Right up to the one point when they get there.
Yeah.
It's been so long, but right up to the point.
But basically getting tortured and stuff.
I didn't like that he had a sheer shirt on. That was kind of...
Well, they wanted to present him as a, pretty femboy kind of thing. You can't have a masculine character. Like Mad Mortigan, he was way too masculine. Yeah. Even though he wore a dress and posed as a woman and things, but still too toxic.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's all that's the news that we've had about Willow. And I wanted to talk about it. But,
did he say anything else?
No, he's just basically like, it's embarrassing. This is it.
It's it. The thing is, though, I think I would. It is embarrassing for Disney.
Oh, it's very embarrassing.
It's embarrassing that they made such a bad show. It was the right move to take it off because it was bombing so bad. But the embarrassing thing was the core reason for it being removed that the show itself is embarrassing,
But
Warwick.
Disney,
Warwick, I'm telling you.
Disney's never going to come out and say that it was a misfire, it was wrong, but they're never going to admit to any of these things. But them taking it off the service
is an acknowledgement,
which is weird. I'd imagine someone like Disney to go, "Yep, we're going to quadruple down and just leave it."
But see, I think they're getting to a point where they're losing too much money. They're bleeding money, and this is if they had all the money in the world, they would not change a thing. They would still be making this woke propagandistic bullcrap because they are all about the message over the story.
I don't know, man. We got Snow White coming out. And it doesn't seem like...
but that's proof that if they could maintain it, they would, even while they're bleeding so much.
It's still going to come out, though.
Yeah, well...
Remember The Flash? Where we were like, why are you going to put
because
the Flash out?
They're at the point where it'll make some money. It's going to recover some of the cost by bringing it out.
But it's going to do more damage in the long term.
Yeah. It's a rock and a hard place. They need to recover some of the costs of the production because they've spent so much money on this dog crap content, and they're not in a place where they could actually have a tax break like it was with Batgirl and that Warner Brothers did. And so they're just spewing it out because they need to recover the costs. You're right, I think it's going to do even more damage. But this is going to show you that they haven't learnt a thing. The only change they're trying to make, right, is because they're bleeding so much and their hand is kind of being forced. But if they had the opportunity and they would keep going. And the statements by the CEO, whatever. Which Chapek or
Bob,
whatever?
No, it's not.
Whatever Bob is in charge.
Bob Iger's back in charge.
He says we're going to step back from politics.
Man,
this came out.
That made me like, bro. He came out and
so Ryan covered this great on Friday Night Tights because he showed an identical quote, essentially identical, that he made 6 months or whatever months beforehand. And it didn't mean spit.
He's come out and he's like, "Oh, we're taking your side and this and this," and he does this, and then he coming out and go, "Now we're losing money. We need to stay out of politics." It's like, it's too late.
Yeah, we know how much of an activist you are. Disney's not going to change, and
it is funny though because he gets what he deserves because Bob Iger was in charge first, then he put Chapek.
He put in place all the architecture for Disney's downfall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chapek came in, things went bad. They got rid of him, brought Iger back in, and all that stuff that he originally did still came to bite him again.
Still happening. Though I think the thing that he was trying to bank on was not the destruction for the content. He was just trying to get Chapek to be the fall guy for the COVID slump.
Everything he's done.
But
bit of a tangent there. But that's pretty much all for today. Did you want to take us out, Shad?
Yeah, it is embarrassing. We agree with you, but you might not be understanding why, old Warwick. But let us know what you guys think in the comments. We love reading them. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay on watch.